What's going on, everybody? It's Lexi, and you are watching The Nerds Table. Cue the intro. Alright, everybody, what's going on? So, thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys gave me on my last video. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the love and support I'm getting in general from you guys. It's really making me want to keep doing this and keep doing this full time. So let's keep growing this, because I'd really like to do this and not have to work at that crusty, dusty job that I work at right now. So let's keep this going. I'm reacting to another video today. I think it's a Cultaholic game or Cultaholic wrestling video today. I'm a little sick right now, so probably the video ain't gonna be too long. It's gonna be long enough, but ain't gonna be too long. So it's 10 best of every Royal Rumble surprise returns. I believe this is like a overall time type of thing. So hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. Yeah, let's get this going. The original video will be in the description below.
Been speculated upon for some time, barely felt real to those who sensed it was coming. But we'll come back to that shortly. Often they get spoiled by enterprising news outlets, don't give us that look, are still the stuff fun Rumbles are made of. And throughout this millennium, the Rumbles have been filled to the brim with one physical cameo after
That's one thing. Okay, I know I'm like late on saying,
charming,
and he like said that a while ago in the video, but one thing I don't like about today's wrestling is that there's so many news sites now that are like, hey, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, this person may be returning soon. It's like it kills that oomph when that person actually returns. So like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's keep wrestling fun.
Legendary. In this video, we're going to take a look back at the 10 best Royal Rumble surprise returns. No NXT cameos and no pre-announced comebacks, see Triple H in 2002, Rob Van Dam in 2006, are allowed here. It's only the ones that stunned you out of your ongoing nacho coma long enough to suitably mark the F out. I'm Adam Pachisi from Cultaholic.com, and these are the 10 best Royal Rumble surprise returns. Join us. Number 10, Booker T and Diesel in 2011. No matter how bloated your roster is, when you're booking a Royal Rumble to run 40 men deep, you may be spread a little thin by the time you get to Wrestler 37. Yoshi Tatsu, Tyler Rex, Mason Ryan, some dude named Husky Harris. Quantity wasn't an issue 9 years ago, but depth certainly was. So deploying a few ringers into the fray made sense. Enter recent main event Mafia members Booker T and Kevin Nash. All you need to see is the joyful look on Booker's face when he walks the aisle, his arms subconsciously shaking as though he was being slowly possessed. Diesel's reemergence takes a respectable second to book here, but that Boston pop when they heard the Diesel truck start up was pretty wild. The warm reception for these two moments is probably what led to WWE overloading the following year's Rumble with too many surprises, so that's just one more thing people can blame.
Yeah, so it was like 1 year had like this great 2 surprises. It was like, whoa, my god, I'm so excited for that. And the next year it was like, why are we doing that? It's way too much.
Bubba Ray Dudley in 2015.
I remember that.
I remember that. Ray's entry into the ever-popular and globally celebrated 2015 match was special. First off, it occurred in Philadelphia, his old ECW stomping grounds, so seeing the man who used to antagonize the Bingo Hall faithful get a hero's welcome was delightful in itself. But there's a bigger reason why Bubba Ray's appearance was monumental. It was his first time ever in a Royal Rumble match. Yes, the man who worked for WWE for 6 years from 1999 to 2005 had never once entered the 30-man melee.
What?
He and Brother Devon were doomed to spend those Rumbles of yore in the undercard, usually in the tag team title match or, in 2000, breaking tables with the Hardy Boys. By the time Bubba donned the glasses and camo once more in 2015, he was a decade removed from leaving the company, spending close to the entirety of that decade in TNA, and won their world title twice. And this was all before his first Rumble match appearance at age 43. We're still waiting on Devon to get his chance. Testify. Number 8, Chris Jericho in 2013. This is one of those returns that you forget
I remember
is a
that.
return.
I think
Usually,
I believe I remember that. I think I actually do remember that.
For some reason, or the Hurricane for some reason, or what have you. What made Le Retourne de la Champion unique here is that it was hardly a cameo. After bowing out shortly after the 2012 SummerSlam, Jericho turned up unexpectedly at the 2013 Rumble, entering at number 2. With Dolph Ziggler, the man who sent him packing, standing across the ring, Jericho got to work, hanging in there for nearly 48 minutes, the second longest longest tenure that year behind only Ziggler himself. For a man who hadn't wrestled in over 5 months, Jericho
Sorry
put
if
in
I'm so
one hell of a
quiet,
shift.
guys. I'm
Hopefully
really, like,
he got to enjoy a
interested
little
in
bit of the
these
bubbly
here.
for his sterling efforts. Number 7, all the women's returns in the 2018 Rumble. In 2018,
All the
the
women's
women finally
returns?
got a Rumble of their own. Asuka won, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss conveniently and uncharacteristically stood in place beside her afterwards so that even a dullard in the 112th row would go, "She's got a choice to make," and Ronda Rousey pointed at something in the vicinity of an oversized logo. Silly remarks aside, it was a fine Rumble match, and all in all, people were happy to see the women get this opportunity. In this case, stacking the Rumble with guest entries was necessary, since the main roster didn't exactly have 30 women to fill it out. The Riot Squad and Absolution was seemingly invented 2 months earlier for this purpose. So there were tons of cameos, including Trish Stratus, Lita, Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool, and others.
That's
Since they
actually
never got a
kind of
Rumble
sad that they didn't even have enough women to, like, fill out a Royal Rumble. Like, that's kind of sad. Like, that's... wow.
Match in their day, Beth's canoodling with Carly aside, this allowed some truly talented women to get a Rumble match on their career resumes. Plus, it gave us Trish versus Mickey again, and you can never have enough of that. Number 6, Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper in 2008. Some of the entries in this video led to full-time jobs for the welcome interlopers, whether it was Booker as a part-timer, Jericho returning because he and Mum apparently made up for real this time, or whatever. This was a case where there was no serious comeback in the offing, given the ages of the 2 men involved. And who cares, the moment was so surreal that nothing they did after was going to be as cool. Amid a ring full of icons and late Ruthless Aggression era regulars, the theme music of the Superfly hits, and suddenly, Snuka was back home in the garden, looking for somebody named Morocco to jump onto. Then, just as inexplicably, here comes Piper in the next spot, and Snuka froze. The old rivals had as good a brawl as 2 elder wrestlers could
They used to
possibly
be
have,
rivals?
but the sight of a ring full of stupefied wrestlers watching it play out, they were brought back as part of a handicap match at the following year's WrestleMania, but that was never going to touch this quaint brilliance. Number 5, Bob Backlund in 2000. Hang on, we're not leaving Madison Square Garden just yet. As nice as Brooklyn
Again, guys, I'm sorry if I'm so quiet. I'm just, like, really interested in these, and I'm not feeling that well, and my throat's kind of itchy, so I'm really not trying to irritate my throat that much. But I want to make sure I get y'all a video, so...
long-lost magic. Take the year 2000, when New York feasted merrily on the glut of attitude, but didn't forget its history. The clock counted down as a scantily clad super heavyweight, a vampire, a flak-jacketed cop, and an ascending edge all jockeyed for position. At the horn, Hail to the Chief blares, briefly confusing the usually hip crowd. Then out comes Mr. Bob Backlund to the damnedest pop you've ever heard. He and New York have met before, you see. It may well have been 1979 again, with somebody in that ring standing in for Greg Valentine. Backlund also made his mark by leaving through the crowd after his elimination, for some reason, possibly to further inspire the youth of America with his academic superciliousness. Number 4, Rey Mysterio in 2018. Close to 3 years had passed since the 2006 Rumble winner left WWE, and in the interim, Mysterio shed a ton of mass and reaffirmed his greatness in places like Lucha Underground, proving himself to be somehow ageless. The Mysterio we saw in Philly in 2018 received a warm reception as he dipped back into the familiar moveset, and it was great to see. That's because before leaving WWE, Mysterio had somehow become a bit of an afterthought. Crowds had cooled on the legendary star, booing him in some matches, such as against Bad News Barrett in April 2014. He wasn't universally reviled, but
I will never boo Rey Mysterio. Never, unless he say something about me or like
for WWE fans, absence made the heart
then
grow
it's like,
fonder.
nah,
4 years
Rey.
after
But
getting
I love
booed
Rey
out of
Mysterio.
Pittsburgh for not being Daniel Bryan, Mysterio was treated as a prodigal icon by the fans on the other side of Pennsylvania. Number 3, Edge in 2010. Nearly been 10 years since the rated R superstar made an unannounced return from injury to win the Royal Rumble. It feels like just yesterday that You Think You Know Me startled the Atlanta crowd out of their collective default state, doesn't it? It was a welcome moment for what was already shaping up to be one of the better Rumble matches in history, and Edge's moment sent it hurtling beyond the threshold of greatness. 7 months earlier, Edge ruptured his Achilles tendon at a live event, and reports were that he could be out for about 1 year. Partner Chris Jericho Jericho occasionally dragged his name through the mud in the months that followed, commenting on Edge's apparent fragility, but nobody was expecting Edge to storm the ring at the Rumble and kick Y2J's ass. Then he did, and then he won the whole thing after sending old rival John Cena to the floor. It's one thing to enter the Rumble as a shock of shocks, but something else entirely to win it while said shock is still resonating. Number 2, John Cena in 2008. This seemed destined to rule the top spot
everybody
for many
talks
eons
about
ahead.
this.
Perhaps
Everybody
not
talks
even
about
CM
this
Punk comeback to a
return.
seismic Raw could have equaled the shock of this entry. The case with Cena in 2008, however, is different because even the loudest of fans weren't anticipating his comeback. Out with a torn pectoral for 4 months prior, Cena was slated to miss 8 to 12 months in total. Nobody was expecting him to pop up in the 2008 Rumble until his music hit for the number 30 spot. Even the most jaded of Cena haters inside the Garden forgot that it was their job to boo him for 15 seasons, instead cheering out a genuine surprise for Cena's
stop doing my boy
ungodly
John Cena like that.
recuperative
Don't do my boy
abilities.
John
No
Cena like
takebacksies
that.
here. You cheered for Cena, New York.
I sure
We
did,
all
and I
heard
sure
you.
will.
This isn't an ECW theme song. They're not going to dub over it on the network. Number 1, Edge in 2020. Recency bias? You could make a case for that, since this entry was cobbled together in the near immediate aftermath of Edge's grand return, a day most assumed would never come. Retired for 9 years due to serious spinal injuries, Edge's absence proved his irreplaceability. Such coming back, most figured, would be a miracle. Well, Al Michaels famously asked if we believe in miracles, and it seems they do exist. All you have to do is look at Edge's face when he emerges from the billowing smoke. A man who lives and breathes wrestling had been given a second chance against all odds, and over 40,000 fans made it known that they were damn glad to see him get it. He ultimately pulled himself together long enough to strike the aggressive grimace during his entrance, but the emotions we witnessed couldn't be completely shuttered. There was evident joy on the faces of some of those in this video in their own returns, but Edge's feelings ran deeper. Fans shared his sadness when he said goodbye, and also shared the sheer elation when he came home.
When Edge retired,
for
I was like,
watching. Let us know what
that's
you
kind of bold. That's come on, Edge, don't do that. Anyways, thank you guys for supporting me. I really appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe, that like, that comment, that share it out. I appreciate you guys. And when this channel blows up, I'm gonna show it more to you guys. So, with that being said, so that I don't, blow my throat out. I'm Lexi, and tell me what you guys think about this too. Tell me if they missed some really big ones, because I want to watch them, so let me know. But anyways, I'm Lexi, and you've just watched The Nerds Table. Peace.